Can you hear me, Mike?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Who's all here?
Yeah. Rolf and Michael and you and me. Roy.
Okay.
Kevin's here.
We're going to do a roll call and we'll find out.
Please do. Let's start. I'm sorry. I'm a little late. My apologies. Go ahead.
All right. So Elena is not out or is out this afternoon, so I will be leading the meeting. So we'll start with roll call. Shimmy Shlomo.
Here.
Rolf Jacobson.
Here.
Michael Barsati.
Here.
Mike Graham.
Here.
Larry Fox.
Larry is not going to be here today. I know that for sure.
All righty.
All right. Okay, we got to approve the agenda. Let me see if I can find it on my email real quick. If anybody already read it and want to go ahead, feel free. Are the minutes on this email from Elena? Because I'm not seeing it.
I'm seeing the minutes from February, right? Or something, or no?
We need to approve the March ones, but I'm not seeing it.
It's in the packet that Elena sent.
Okay.
Shimmy.
Yeah. Parking report.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a different email from the April 12 Metro District meeting?
There should be 2 attachments on there. Are you able to see my screen? Because I've got the minutes up.
There is 2 attachments, but they're both. Is that just on my email?
You muted yourself, Shimmy. What was that?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't. I see. It doesn't open it. Give me 1 second. Let me see if it's going to open it for me. Yeah, it tells me there is an error. How about somebody else will look at it and approve it? I won't vote on this one since I can't see it. I'm still trying to open it.
Yeah, the agenda. Is that what we're talking about, or the minutes? Which one?
The minutes for March 18.
Oh, I was looking at the agenda. Sorry.
Okay.
I can't do anything on that one because I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then there's no.
I'd make a motion that we approve it.
You're not gonna have a third one. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it just shows. Let me see if I can reload this email real quick. Let me download it. Okay, got it. Go ahead with the motion, Mike, please.
Okay, I'd make a motion to approve the minutes from last month.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That would be 3-0. I believe Barsati wasn't there. Is that right, Barsati?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And going back to.
And I just want to add, guys, that I talked to Judy and she said that you can approve minutes even if you weren't at the meeting, if you have read over the meeting. So I know that we have not been doing that, but that might be something that is helpful in our future.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you. Next thing is reports. If we can have Kevin with the parking report.
Yep. Overall March revenue was $26,153. That is a 5736 increase year over year. Overall transactions were 4771. That's a 496 increase year over year. Breakdown into the lots, I can go over those if you'd like. Permit sales totaled 990. That's a decrease of 490 year over year. There were 13 total citations. That's a decrease of 14 year over year. And Wichita had 7 of those. Michigan had 6.
Okay. Any questions for Kevin? I'm still gonna read it real quick, so forgive me. If there is any questions, please feel free to go ahead and ask. Are you seeing a decrease in permits throughout from the first of the year, Kevin, or?
Yeah, because the way they're set up, being on a calendar year, January and February is our busiest time, and then it starts teetering off unless we get a new employee, new resident that needs a lot permit.
Okay. Okie dokie. Any questions before I move on to Nicole?
Nope.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. Nicole?
No problem.
Stop sharing, then I will be able to share. Or you guys can look at your packet, doesn't matter.
Either way.
So this is the March only comparison, and Beck and I just learned how to make these brackets. So this is the current year. These are the years going back. And this is the budgeted amount. And just let me know when you're ready to move to the through March.
Ready when you are.
Okay.
I'm actually looking on my computer, so
Okay.
sorry. So maybe if somebody else needs to look at it, let me know.
All right. And then we just got our first invoice from Mary Ellen. I don't know of anything else that I need to let you know about. Of course, that'll be in next month's report.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the invoice. I think the invoice went to, not to you this time. I forget her name. There's a new girl, right?
To Emily, but I was included on that so that I know to include and approve.
Okay. Awesome. Okie dokie. Any questions for Nicole?
You know, I got to apologize. I had to run out and grab my dog that got off his tether. So I missed a little bit of that. Did we go over the memorandum? It's kind of got our balance. Have we done that yet?
No.
Okay, great. All righty. Then I can wait.
Well, I usually only go over that when you have a question. So let's go ahead and.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the one I got in my packet looks like very similar to the one from last month.
Let me get that. Hold up.
I mean, it's got last month's date on it. And I was just trying to figure out. It's got last
Page
month's.
are you on, Mike?
Oh, I'm on that City of Manitou Springs memorandum. And, you know, last month, the numbers didn't look right. So Nicole and I talked about that and seemed like maybe something wasn't added up right, but now this month it's a reprint of last month.
Did I not save it right?
Well, you know, last month I think you and I decided it was wrong.
Right, it was added up incorrectly.
Yeah. So this month it's the very same thing as last month, same date.
Let me open up the.
I mean, don't you do this every month?
Well, until we change the fiscal year, it's an addition thing. Let's look at.
See, in January, we had a bigger balance than we had in February, or actually the one that's dated 2/7, which would have been for January, we had a larger total than we had the one that's dated 3/6.
What was the total there, Mike?
Okay, well, in January, our balance was $534.92. Then we lost about 11,000 or so between January and February. And then this month, we've got the same printout as we had last month, which says, you know, that it's the balances to February 28th. Do you see that in your packet?
Yeah, I'm on it now. 524,
Okay.
500. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we had $10,000 more back in January than we've got now, and we're supposed to have been collecting fees the last couple months.
Yep. Well, let's see what Nicole comes up with.
Okay.
I'm just re-looking at the numbers. And it should be 554,892. 544 rounded up, it's 893.
For this month?
Are the numbers for this month. And if I do 75, 101, 100 for March, 428.
Did you say 554, Nicole?
554,893.
And that is for
That's the operating
today.
fund. That's the operating fund for just the Metro, and then the conservation trust fund. I'm going to relook at that also. And I have to look at last year's fund balance plus this year's. So let me look at that again to confirm.
Looks like it was being subtracted. The conservation trust fund was being subtracted from the operating fund.
And that's
to give us the total fund. So that should be added, not subtracted.
It should always be added.
You
You
see that? It says operating fund is 533.
Yep.
Conservation trust is 9. Total is 524. So it's reduction instead of added.
Yeah, that 524 was, I think, wrong last month.
Right.
Okay,
but yeah, so that's an easy one right there. So we were subtracting the two funds instead of adding them for the total.
But do you see where the page, we don't have one for today.
For today.
We're looking at the one from last month that we looked at last month.
Okay, right.
And
okay, I understand.
It had a math mistake. And now we're looking at the same thing that was wrong last month. We don't have this month's.
So can you confirm, Nicole, that what you're looking at is 554,893?
That is what I'm showing.
Okay.
And then there is a...
For both funds or?
No, that's just for the operating.
Just for the operating, okay.
Okay.
And then the conservation trust would be around 10,000 probably.
96.
96,
Okay.
yeah, because that has not
I
increased.
see it. I see it on the screen.
Yeah, the 96 is from probably the month before, but it's
And that one doesn't
Mhm.
change, probably. That's the lottery money, I think.
Yeah, we get the lottery money.
Okay.
That's a percentage. It's a small amount. And it's always in arrears also. So
Okay. So
Okay.
this memorandum that's on the screen now wasn't in our packet, or wasn't in the packet I printed out.
okay.
It was, if you look at page 12 of 18 in the packet, it printed the same thing that we had on 3/6.
Yeah, but
that is
this
correct.
It's
this looks right though.
sorry, Mike.
Well, that's, yeah,
This is the one I created, but
somehow the wrong one got in the packet,
Okay.
I guess.
I guess so.
Can you
Okay.
make it a little bit bigger, Nicole, on the screen by any chance?
I can try.
Thank you.
Is that better?
Yeah, for me. But yeah, at least
Now
that's the right number. Don't you think, Mike?
Well, it seems like it.
564
I guess
should be 589.
so it's 564, 859.
Should be 8.
Okay.
I mean, there's some payments that are coming out of that too, right?
That are coming out of what? Out of the Conservation Trust Fund? No.
No, out of the operating fund.
Yes.
I mean, you make some payments every month, right?
Correct. That's what our
Okay.
expenses are.
Okay.
That we
Yeah,
got every-
employees and we just paid an invoice for Mission.
16/7. 16/7. 16/7.
Any other questions for Nicole, Mike?
No, that's just that was kind of the main deal. Was in my packet, we printed the same thing from last month.
Okay.
So that was kind of weird, but
If you notice it before, do me a favor, Mike, and just tell us, and so we can.
Well, yeah, that's good. It's just that before it didn't add up, and then it got printed again, just like it was last month. So, and I don't know how much gets paid out. We should be able to take what Kevin says, we collect it and add that on, but we don't know how, except I guess here we can figure out what was paid out.
We could, I mean,
So
if you want, you can email.
For the month of March,
Mhm.
the expenditures, and this is for, let me make sure it's the just March only. Are 4,306.
But at least it's going upward now instead of downward.
Right. So it was going up. I just forgot at the beginning of the year that I had to add last year's up with this year's, because until we switch over to this year for our current fiscal year, I have to add last year's and this year's. Because the books aren't closed yet for last year.
Okay. They are now, Nicole?
No, we will not close our books until after audit.
Wow, got it.
We're still moving things back into the previous year. We are still getting invoices from last year, and we've got a lot of things to do. Capitalization, just a lot of stuff.
Are we talking about Metro or are we talking city?
We're talking city. So for Metro, I have closed that. That's what we signed for, that exemption from audit.
Yeah.
So your books are closed now.
Okay. All right.
and I cannot make any changes for 2022, but the system cannot be closed until we get the cities done. We can't just close one fund.
Understood. Rolf, any questions? Mike?
Nope.
Okay, old business continued. Wichita, thank you, Nicole. Wichita bathroom update. Ha, fun times. Is Doll here, or who's giving this update on this
that is
restroom?
Me.
That's hi, Roy.
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
So the Wichita bathroom, where we got in a little snag here was that, you know, they require hot water now, but to put a hot water tank in there is something that we don't want to do. That's going to be more expense. And where do you put it? And now you have to maintain that. So we have asked for from PPRTA to grandfather that like our other bathrooms in Manitou and just have the cooler water just so they can wash their hands. And they said, okay, but they did not tell the inspector. So when the inspector came, he didn't have hot water and he couldn't approve it. So currently we're trying to get that solved by the end of the week. And then they are finishing up on the electrical component. So we're trying to push to get done before this weekend. And then if not, it would be next week that we would get it open.
Okay. Why can't we put like one of those small hot water heaters? They're really small. They're enough to wash your hands. They're about $200. You just put the cold water into it. It gives you, it's hot water on demand. That's what it's called. It's very simple, $200. Plug it in and go. We don't want to do that.
Well, I mean, I could ask about that. I mean, it still will take, it might take the same amount of time to get it open. At this point, to get one, get it in, make sure it solves the PPRTA's recommendations, and just go through the process. I don't know if it's going to make it any quicker. It might be quicker to try to just get the approval they gave us already and do that, because we're still, the electrical had to be moved to the other electrical box, so that has to be completed as well. So that's what we're trying to finish up this week. So either way, we have a slight delay here, but we are so close to the end now. I don't know if we want to add that component or maybe we add it later, but we may want to stay on track so we don't confuse them even further and delay it even further. But if you want, I can check Shemi and I can, but I couldn't get, you know, we can go whatever the quickest route is possibly if you want, but I can check on that.
To be honest with you, Roy, I've stopped asking about the restroom. I've stopped asking because it doesn't matter if I ask or not, because I've asked for it to be done by March 1st the latest for spring break when there is a lot more people in the street. And those people came and left. So it really doesn't matter when it's going to be open, to be honest with you, because you already missed the mark. I spoke to Doll about it, and I've been hearing about this electric issue for over a month. And if it's only the slightest thing, it should be calling for regional, having somebody over there, you know, doing its test and be done with it. But I don't know what's going on with it. And like I said, I've stopped asking because when I do ask, that's what happens. That I get frustrated. I get to complain, and I just stopped. When you guys are going to open it, and that's about it. That's all I have to say about this restroom.
So I think he's saying that whatever's quickest, but yeah, I don't think we need hot water there. Just get us grandfather claused in there. So
yeah, at this point, we're just trying to move on as quickly as we can at this point, and yeah, it definitely went longer than I would have hoped, and apologies for that. Nothing I can do at this point, and but we're trying to push it open as quick as we can now. So
now, you know, the logic of it is that, do we have hot water in the porta potties? No, we don't have hot water in the porta potties. So what's the difference? There's no hot water anywhere. So
Right.
you're not taking hot water away. So what's the logic? And why is PPRTA involved?
Well, they have to
That's
approve all these improvements. They have to approve when it comes down to certain requirements now by whether it's the state or even federal. But the bathrooms now, probably maybe it's a COVID impact thing from 2 years ago, but now they have to have hot water in bathrooms, and even these type of bathrooms. But they did. My understanding from Dole is they approved us not having to put hot water in. But initially they didn't communicate that to each other, the inspector and the PP and the Pikes Peak Regional, which I'll be honest with you, even at the pool when we had projects, we had delays from Pikes Peak Regional. We get pretty frustrated with them. I'm not going to say we don't drop the ball here and there too, but it's been tough with them because they have different inspection times for all their different units. They don't have it on their system sometimes, which I found happened before in projects where they didn't even put it in their system. So sometimes it's a struggle, but not to make a bunch of excuses. The idea is that we're pushing right now really hard to get this thing done. And all I can do is apologize for the delays. I know it's hard for you guys and your lots. So
and let me apologize that I guess I misunderstood. I thought you guys were saying Pikes Peak Regional Transportation.
Oh, no.
PPRTA is what I was hearing, and you were saying what, the PP what?
The Pikes Peak Regional Building
yeah.
Department.
Right.
All these abbreviations.
Exactly. And no, that's okay. I understand that now. Except they didn't talk.
Yeah, they're not the easiest to get things done with. I'll be honest with you, and then we have a contractors too. But so from our standpoint, I understand the frustration for you all, and we are trying to really push now to get this thing open. Summer's around the corner, as you all know. I mean, it's 83 degrees or something today, or 70, 80 here, I guess, another record. Looks like it's going to be a warm couple of weeks with rain this Friday. So, I mean, we're busy and we'll push hard. That's all I can promise you. We're really pushing hard now to get them all together, get this thing done.
Thank you, Roy. I appreciate it. New business?
Yeah, so I'll continue on here. So I just wanted to give this group an update, what we've been talking with council and what we're doing. I think it's important. We are looking at EV shuttle, maybe more than one. One is a shuttle, one is a tram, we call it. And the tram is a smaller type shuttle, could probably hold, up to 20 people. And either Mountain Metro driving those, or we will actually hire drivers in-house, and they will loop from Hiawatha into downtown, dropping shoppers and visitors in and out quicker. So we would have Mountain Metro still running, and then we would run the small shuttle just in that loop. It could be expanded, but the idea is to get people to want to park in the outside, including even Wichita, and if they possibly can even hop on there if they don't want to walk in the heart of downtown or where they want to go, and just keep looping that maybe into the Rexton roundabout. Maybe we end up going to Serpentine or even to Schmitzny lot, and just trying to get better shuttle access for people with less time waiting. It is key that they don't wait too long for that, or they will always just try to drive and park on street and just cause more congestion. So the idea is giving them that access. So we're hoping to have something running, a couple running by early summer, midsummer at the latest. And we may be expanding a satellite parking area. I can't tell you where yet, but we may have some more outside parking areas available. So I just wanted to update you on the shuttle that hopefully we will help with visitors getting into Manitou and out of Manitou if they decide to park outside the core.
Is that going to be just a van? Are you going to wrap it, and how often is it going to run?
Yeah, so we still got a few things to work out, but it will be wrapped. It will, we're hoping for at least, we're talking about a 7-10 minute turnaround, since it's going to be a short route. We don't want to make it long because that adds time, of course, because we have to take in consideration the congestion we already face in downtown. We're also looking at, are there some spaces there they can drop off that won't interfere with the Mountain Metro shuttle? And Sorry, Rolf, there you had one more question. I think I spaced that one out.
How often is it going to be running?
Well, we're hoping at this point 7 days a week. We might run it during peak periods, so maybe it runs 11 to 4. We may end up trying to run in the evening to help with some downtown employees. We got to figure that part out. But the key right now would probably be running it, trying to cover when the shuttles start getting full and people are waiting at Hiawatha, and even sometimes waiting at Wichita. We get complaints they can't get the shuttle from there if they don't want to walk from Wichita in town. So maybe we can, try to swing there and pick them up as well and make it more convenient for them so they can get where they want to go.
And no hope of sending it all the way down to the pool, possibly, to stretch out our parking situation farther east?
Yeah, we're totally open to doing more as we pilot it. So if we go with, so there's one plan, we may go with 2 trams and 1 van, and these are all EV again. So the van, we're thinking maybe more residential type van, but it would go all the way through the fields possibly and back around by the pool, and then go back like 36. So, but then again, having another opportunity for folks. And who knows, maybe it's successful, that one, that later we don't need 36, maybe the van, and we can have our own van set. Because if you look at 36, the occupancy on that is, you're lucky 10 people sometimes per trip. But if we get a van that holds 15, we might solve that problem with a smaller van. And then we're looking at, could they do kind of even on call type thing of designating, which is getting popular in cities, where you designate certain spots in the city that are additional pickups if we get a call near them. So if someone calls from a neighborhood area in Crystal Hills, we might have a couple spots there that the van could swing around and pick them up. And they're starting to do that in cities too, kind of like an on-call service. So we're kind of looking at all those opportunities. Initially, it may be more just a set place, just like Mount Metro's currently doing, and see how that works. And then Mountain Metro on top of that with shuttles, I've been talking with them, trying to convince them to get EV, and if they do that, it might be easier to even up Ruxton and quieter. I know Shemi, you'd like that if they weren't so loud, but it's possible that the EVs are very quiet, so it would be helpful early mornings, things like that. And so
how are we paying for it, Roy?
These shuttles would be paid by the parking enterprise.
And how much is in the parking enterprise at the moment?
I don't have that exact number. I'd have to get that. I wouldn't want to guess. The price of the EVs are, and we may be able to get grants on top of it. So it's possible half the price will be covered by grants. The smaller trams would be under 50,000 each, and the bigger van would probably be more like 150 or 180. But again, if we get like a 30 to 50% grant, that would cut that down.
Nice.
And then
Nicole, do you know how much is in the enterprise zone, Nicole? In the enterprise fund, sorry.
I think you said Nicole. It kind of broke up, Shemi. Did you say Nicole?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, since you didn't know, maybe Nicole can help us. I've always asked, and I can never get a number.
Well, it's online too. I guess we could try to pull it up. I think they post the budget. I think at some point. I don't know if it's out yet, but
okay.
So
sorry, I was muted there in 2 spots. I will pull that report up. I'll have it in a minute.
I don't want to talk too much about this, but so this would almost replace the 36 bus.
It's possible that we would consider that if it's successful.
So we could save the money on the 36 bus.
Correct.
Which no one is using, correct? And the 36 bus is free anyway in town, right? And it's going all the way up to the Indian. Well, I don't know what to call it anymore. The far west end.
Well, I think it's still the Indian statue. I think that's okay.
Right. Okay. I don't want to. But okay. And that would, we could eliminate that and then actually have a functional citywide, not the incline, but a citywide transit, which is something this could morph into possibly.
That's correct.
Correct? Okay.
That's correct.
I think I like it, but you've got to go all the way to the east. I know there'll be a few people, but people will start using it. So I hope
we are even looking at, we already reached out to Colorado Springs and asked like the tram, if the tram would go down to Safeway, would they be okay with that type of vehicle? And they said yes. So we could even, you know, that way people can do grocery shopping, you know, and so that we're kind of looking at that whole picture, that it might be worth it, you know, and again, Mountain Metro still may supplement when it comes to the incline, but if we can push the EV, then that'll also be a cleaner system and quiet, and we won't care. I mean, we don't get many residents or, you know, residents anyway on the incline one. We get visitors. I'm not sure shoppers though either. So they're mostly incline and maybe cog, which is
right.
fine. But,
which is great.
Yeah.
Now the 36 kind of starts at Hiawatha, right? And then goes up. So this would just kind of eliminate that, where you're coming in on the 3 bus, you get off, everybody gets off at Hiawatha, then you get on the right bus, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. That's kind of the hope if we move forward and
right.
It works well, you know, and so it's good that we have to, some point have to try some of this out, and EV is the movement forward, even with public work fleets and city fleets. So it's time to kind of look at that ability.
And the shuttle bus, not the shuttle, the incline bus is still a pretty big bus. Whereas I was in downtown Colorado Springs, they have a bus that they use called the Zeb. Seems to be a little bit smaller. It is wrapped as the Zeb, and it has a big letters free on the side.
Yeah.
It goes up and down Tejon Street. That is what the incline bus should be. Something like that says free incline only, and that won't confuse the 33 bus, the 36 bus, the 3 bus, and now this other bus. So it's just, I just want to throw that out there.
Well, that's excellent, Rolf, because with the meeting with Mountain Metro last week that I had, and we're going to start meeting monthly for a while. They have some new bosses there, and it's been frustrating for us. I didn't mind the other folks that were there, but they weren't quite as open to ideas. And one of the first things one of the new bosses said is, "Hey, Roy, do you want your buses wrapped?" And I'm like, yes. And we've been asking and told, well, no, unless we pay. So I think we're going to be moving forward, and they're going to push the EV as well. So, I mean, it looks like we really got some cooperation from them now with the new folks there and trying to work this out. But at the end of the day, honestly, if 36 went away and we could manage it with something smaller, that makes more sense for our residents, and it's nice and comfortable, and it can carry what we need, because we can always add another van, right? If it works and it grows, you know, we can handle some good service for the community, and then also do some good service for the visitors that are here too into downtown as a supplement, or maybe it takes it over too, and we can save that money. The incline and cog one, I mean, that's what it is. But I'll push for EV on that, and that way we have a quieter and cleaner unit, and we'll keep pushing that as well. And rapid, I agree. People get pretty frustrated when they wait at like the town clock and that incline shuttle blows by them because it's packed. That was another thing we had talked about for a couple of years now, is can they post that on their bus that it's full or something? And they kept telling me, no, it's too hard. But with my meeting last week, the new lady there said, oh yeah, that'd be easy, and we can do that. So I'm like, okay, then we'd like to do that, because I think we have to communicate to our visitors, to our residents, whoever wants to use the shuttle, to understand why the bus didn't stop. So anyway, it's something that council has wanted us to move on, and I think it's going to be a positive as a whole for businesses, the visitors, and the residents, if we can get something working well. If it doesn't work, then, you know, it's easy enough. We could probably sell them off and move on to something else. But I think the potential's there.
All right.
So I've got a question for Roy. Is Mountain Metro going to provide the buses and the drivers? Or are we going to buy them ourselves?
Well, we're going to buy the shuttles and the trams if council approves. But the options are, we have 3 options. One option I already proposed to Mountain Metro, and they may be willing to provide drivers. But again, it would be with agreements on the schedule. That one's a little more restrained, so I don't like it as much, but we would have to agree. If we provide our own staff, that's what we're looking at now, and possibly having it through the Parking and Mobility Department, that we provide drivers for it. But then we'd have more control on modifying routes if they don't work in a quicker way. And we like the idea, especially early on, to be able to make adjustments until we get it right. And then the third way would be contracted out, you know, with some company that does tours, and they did that at Garden of the Gods. They contracted out and they got a shuttle, and it's been a real productive there as well. So that would be a third option that we would look into possibly. If we can't do it, and Mountain Metro says no, that could be an option we decide to go around. Good questions.
All right.
Thanks.
Anything else before we move to the next moving parking temporarily due to renovations?
Yep. So we are doing renovations in City Hall soon. And parking, the planning department's gonna be moving up to the old city council chambers, and that's gonna be their new office area. So when people come in, they can find planning easily. The back offices there where they're at now will be renovated as well and cleaned up, and additional offices made for our staff, which is overwhelming in there, and don't have office space currently, and some meeting space. And so what happens is parking has to have a home. So currently, until we find a place for them for sure, and it's kind of out, but Chase Bank may be what we end up getting. But if we, in the meantime, we probably will get a trailer, and either they will be in the Chase Bank parking lot with power and everything, or they will be in Hiawatha and running out of there for the summer until the renovations are done and until we find a kind of a permanent home for them. So I just wanted you all aware that there's going to be some adjustments there to the parking office. And currently we're not 100% sure where they'll be located, but probably Hiawatha or Chase Bank is looking like the two places.
I have one Ruxton open if they need a spot.
Well, you know, are you talking about an open office?
It's an open commercial building downtown, but yes.
Well, you know what? Honestly, Shemi, if you and I want to talk this week about what that would cost us, I'm definitely interested in discussions.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Did we buy the bank building, or who would we rent
not
it?
yet.
Or what?
It's all in discussions at this point.
Okay. Well, good luck. Is it looking good or what?
There'll be a nice mobility hub there. So we're excited if we can get it, but there's always challenges, as you know. But in the meantime, you know, we are looking for options. So Shemi, I'm serious about that too, as maybe an option. It depends on cost and everything, but definitely interested in discussing how that could work. If that was an option for us too, then we would consider it. Sure. Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll shoot you an email.
Okay. All right.
Next one is new parking rate signs posted on kiosks.
Yeah, and Kevin, I don't know if you want to take this one.
Yeah, I can do that. So all of the areas that have the progressive parking rates if you're looking at the machine, like you're paying to park, it'll be on your left-hand side. There is a frame that lists what zone you're in, and it gives you a breakdown of the price all the way from an hour to if you're going to park all day. Those are being updated quarterly as we're adjusting our rates, and our next rate adjustment is set for May 1st to start the summer rates.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Is that on the screen, or is that something that like a plaque you put on there, or what?
Yeah, it's like a plaque, and it's on the left-hand side of the machine if you're looking at it.
And what
the
does
screen,
it say?
it's got all the rate breakdowns on there. So whatever, that way the businesses, since it changes quarterly, the businesses will know if you just look to the left of the machine, you'll be able to see what the rates are for this quarter. Awesome. And all of the machines are being updated on that home screen to direct people to the side of that machine to see them. We've got about a dozen of those done right now. It's a new program that T2 launched. We're testing it on a few, but it seems like it's going good, and we're going to keep putting it on the new machines.
Hey, Kevin, can you do me a favor too? When we get the May 1 charts made, can you make sure this board gets maybe a copy because it might be good for customers, and the know that we get that sometimes from businesses. Be nice to let their customers, visitors know that what the rates are and stuff. So if we can get them a copy of these by email, they may appreciate that to understand.
Yeah, I can do that. And also, I dropped off our most recent one at the Metro lot just so they had it for the zone that the Metro lot is located in on street. So the lot attendants do have the one that's in use right now.
Okay.
So are we going to be more than $3 an hour on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday soon, or what? We're at $3 now for the first couple hours. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a little less on Monday through Thursday. So are we going to be more expensive than that this summer?
We're doing the data right now and confirming from the occupancy rates. So we'll have that real soon for the May 1 summer rates, which then go Monday through Sunday. So yeah, it looks like there will be an increase since we're at over 100% still in occupancy, but it is starting to come down. But we'll have those numbers verified here probably within the next few days.
Well, I think one of those charts that on the side of the machine that I looked at downtown went up to like $28 an hour for the 12th hour.
Yeah, so that's the progressive rate. It
Okay.
starts out at the $2.50 for the first 2 hours, so it'll be $5, and then it jumps, and I can't remember the number off the top of my head. I've been doing numbers all day, so my brain's almost fried. And then when you're getting up into those 6+ hours, it's like $10.50 an hour for each hour you want to do.
Yeah, so if they want to stay 12 hours, it's going to cost beyond $100.
The way it's broke down right now, all day on streets, $87.
Okay.
Wow. Any other questions for Kevin and Roy?
I do have a couple other things if you want me to talk about it in discussion, maybe.
Yeah, I have some questions too to ask, but maybe is it open season right now? So that's great news about the bank building. I hope you get it. Hiawatha, I know there's a task force on it. Is there anything you could tell us about what's happening with the building?
Well, we're really trying to shoot for this the bathrooms out there at this point, but it's kind of been delayed a little bit. Council wants to be more involved. So that discussion's going to council soon to a meeting. I think it's in April. It may be early May that that group is going to meet with council and discuss how they want them to move forward. So there's been a little bit of a delay on that, but they have a lot of good work done. It just now has to be, they have to decide on who's going to push forward, and council wants more involvement at this point. So that's what we're working on.
Okay. And then LaFonda, what can you tell us?
That it's
legally
gone.
Tell us. Well, yeah. Who owns it? Who owns it? And what's the plans?
Well, I don't know the plans for sure. There's been a lot of rumors, of a possible specialty food store. I know we had some discussions about some additional parking for a satellite parking area. I don't think that's happening. So I don't know who bought it at this point and what they're going to do with it. It's been pretty quiet with the URA. So I don't know for sure. So I really can't answer, but especially if a food store keeps popping up by people thinking that's going to be what it's going to become. And maybe it's more than just that. So some kind of retail outlet. Yeah, I don't have much more on that. They're not really communicating with us on that. So, but it's better than all those broken buildings, I guess, even the dirt. So looks cleaner.
Any other questions, you guys?
I got a couple items if you want me to talk about a few more things real quick.
Go ahead. I did have a question. I just can't remember what it was. So you go ahead and talk, and
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
Well, this is a question, and Sam, I think you asked me last time. I just want to confirm you want us to stripe Wichita and Schmitzy this spring, right?
Yeah, it's been 3 years, and
okay.
It's time, and it kind of needs it too.
Yes. So we're getting bids right now for it's pretty big. We were able to work out some plans with a paver, an asphalt company, and we're bidding it different, where we're bidding a cost amount to do these many products, these many streets. And we're going to do some chip seal, some full asphalt, depends on the load of that road. And during that time, then too, we'll be able to stripe. So our plans are right now, hopefully, when the asphalt companies just reopened yesterday for the asphalt itself. So now everyone's on that scramble. But we're hoping here probably by May, early May, mid-May, that we can start doing paving and striping. And so we'll throw your 2 lots on the list, this group's, so for the striping then. So it will be coming. The other thing is we are starting this summer a downtown beautification team from the city that are going to focus all through downtown. We have the bid, we know that, but from the outskirts, from Pawnee East and from Ruxton West, maybe part of Ruxton itself, whatever the bid's not maintaining. And we're going to have a temporary summer crew hired. Their focus is going to be cleaning the curbs and gutters and sidewalks and keep everything clean, and the creek and everything. So the trash cans, you name it. So that's going to be happening and was approved by council, just so you're all aware. And any feedback from you, as summer goes through, would be appreciated. If you see improvement or not, would help me a lot as we move forward with that program. And then we are looking at a possible satellite parking area for downtown employee parking. I can't tell you where yet, but if it works, then we will let you all know. So if you have employees, it's going to be convenient for them downtown to park. And so I'll let you know if and when that occurs, but we're hoping to do that soon. And I think that's all I have, Shemi, if you remember what you were going to ask.
I don't remember. I was just trying to see if Nicole found out how much is in the enterprise fund, but other than that, I think I'm good.
I don't have the numbers because they just did some capital approvals, and some of that included parking, and I don't know how much is really left in the fund balance from last year, since that was not included. Right now, for the year, we've made $300,000 that is sitting there for revenue over expenditures. In the fund balance that is currently there says 1.3 for last year, but like I said, I know some of that was moved into capital.
Okay.
And Shimmy, if I could, I've got something.
Yes, sir.
Our pay stations are 10 years old as of this year. We are starting to swap them out with the same unit, but a new unit. If the board would like, I can get together a quote for the Wichita and Schmishney lots, and we can talk about that next month to get you guys brand new units in those lots.
Yes, please. If you know how much is one unit, we only have 3, correct?
You do, but the city's moving to a sleeker, smaller unit that's a little cheaper than the ones that we currently have.
Okay.
So if you want like for like, I can get it quoted that way, or I can see about getting it quoted with the newer units that the city's moving to.
Can we get both and then we can decide?
Sure thing.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Any other questions? We are on discussion. Next is public comment. I don't think there is public around. I'll give it a second. If there is, this is your time.
Did we approve the records or the reports?
We did not. I'll make a motion to approve the reports as is.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, that would be 4-0.
I'm sorry, I was writing. Was that Michael that seconded?
Yes.
Yes, Barsati. All right. I don't think there was public comment. Anything else, you guys, before we are adjourned? All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Thanks, everyone, for the hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Have
good
a
night,
great
everyone.
day. This
Good
meeting
luck,
is
everyone.
adjourned.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.